Good morning. So, I am in Jackson, Wyoming, just out of there, the Grand Tetons. I love that that's my background. I did not do that on purpose. When I turned it on, I was like, oh, that's rocks. I got to visit that yesterday, and that was wonderful. There are certain national parks that and there's so many I haven't seen, but the ones I've seen, some of them are just adventurous and kind of fun, and then there are others that are a have to. You can't die before seeing this. The Grand Tetons is one of them here in Wyoming. It like if you only have time to do either Yellowstone or Grand Tetons. It there's and there's something like it's like when you see the first time you see a giant redwood like in Sequoia or Kings Canyon, things like that. There's just something so spiritually it just changes you. It changes you for life. I can't explain it any other way. Plus all the lakes down at the base are really cool to see. Apparently my sister's climbed this, and I'm super jealous because that's definitely on my to-do list. So I have no idea what today is. I'm so tired. I'm so glad. Let me look on my thing. Oh, Wednesday the 22nd. There we go. See, and I thought it was a Thursday. So I mean, I started this adventure on the 10th, and we're on the 22nd, so 12 days. It feels like it's been a lifetime. Um, I've I've gotten lost in the backwoods of Idaho and slept uh, in probably what was one of the most beautiful. I mean, I did a video on it. What was one of the most beautiful, gorgeous areas. I don't think I've posted it here on YouTube yet. Um, just being out in the middle of nowhere, not knowing what's going on, where you are, and getting to the point where you're like, I just gonna have to go down that road and see what's there. I might have to sleep in my car. And then discovering the most gorgeous, discovering number one, which is a little campsite. Obviously, people have camped here because there's a little fire pit, but it's not a campground. The road wasn't even marked. It didn't even have like some odd number or anything. It was just a dirt road. Um, and when you having so many situations like that happen, you can't not believe in something bigger than you when you have this happen over and over. So the campsite was just on the most beautiful little creek. It was called Ice House Creek, and I only just happened to find that out because I talked to somebody. They're like, "Oh, you were over by Ice House. Yes, that's one of our best kept secrets." And also, I'm on a freeway that's not even on some of my maps. I actually had to get a local Idaho map to see it, and going, "Oh, there, that funky little line. That's what I was on." And I'm going, "Oh my God, how did you get out there?" And I'm like, the universe has got its way. But it was so wonderful that I ended up staying there for 2 days. And then I went and saw something that's called Quake Lake. Highly recommend that for everybody. It was back in 1959. They had a huge earthquake up in lower Montana that hit that whole area, Yellowstone, all of that, and it just changed everything. And in fact, Yellowstone had a lot of stuff happen with all their geysers and everything. Things changed, obviously, but a whole mountainside slid down and covered the Madison River and went up the other side, and took out a bunch of people, campers that were out there and everything. But I mean, this happened in 1959, and when you go to look at it now, it looks like it just happened. There's no, other than they've blasted through a lot of the rubble so that the Madison River can flow again, but it created a lake. The Madison River backflowed and it created a lake. And even though they were able to blast through and open it up, it still is a new lake there. And there's just all the devastation is still there. There's dead. It's just, it's not sad unless you go into it with that, but it is definitely, everybody who's walking around there exploring it and everything were hushed. There was just this, it was amazing. And they have a visitor center, and you can watch a video where you get to hear from survivors. And it was just, these are these little places that, I only found out about it because somebody told me. Because they were like, so what are you doing? Where are you from? Da, da, da. And we're talking, and they're like, oh, yeah, Yellowstone's fine, but you got to go here. And they're giving me these roundabout ways of things to go visit. And so I did that. And yes, I've done Yellowstone. I visited through Yellowstone. I got to hike with buffalo. Totally inadvertently. Nikki and I were out hiking and come around a corner and it's like, whoa, and there's this big, huge, gnarly old bull up on the side of the hill away from us. And then there's a whole herd of them everywhere, to the point where I was like, yeah, we need to turn around and go back. There's just too many of these guys out here. We slept with wild horses. There was a BLM campground up in Montana that we just happened to come across. My sister has been wonderful. She calls me and she'll be like, where are you? Where are you going? And I'd tell her, and she'll look on her little camping site app called All Stays. And she'll say, oh, okay, so up ahead you've got this coming and this coming, and it's so funny how her timing has always been perfect. She doesn't tell me this any other time of the day except for when I'm finally going off to find a campground. Somehow she knows, and she reaches out to me and we talk at that time, and I'll have no signal any other time. And it's just cool little things that happen that let you know that the universe is with you at all times. And when you're bucking the universe, when you're getting so caught up in your own worries and your own fears and your own, oh my God, where am I going to stay tonight, blah, 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 you can't hear. The universe is at, and the one thing I really learned of this yesterday was that you stay in your joy right now. And anything outside of this now, you've got to put blinders on. You've got to, oh my God, where am I going to stay when I get to this city? You can't do that. Well, you can, but I noticed I've been doing that my whole life. And so it's like, I realize how much I'm getting in the way of the universe's amazing gifts, amazing surprises, like what's behind me. Everybody goes through a certain highway 89 through the Grand Tetons, but there's all these little side roads you could go on through that take you to the base of these mountains where there's all these little lakes, and it's like the locals know about a lot of these little, gems. And if you're willing to stop and talk to the locals, talk to people, how's your day? Where are you from? How long have you lived here? Really get to know people. These little gems come your way. I mean, there's a reason you run into these people. There's a reason the universe has put you here and you here, and So anyway, lots of little gems. Gosh, what else have I? We hiked with a buffalo. Of course, explored a lot of the volcanic geyser type stuff in Yellowstone, because that's what it's all about. It's really amazing. I haven't seen any bear. There's a part of me that wants to, and there's a part of me that's going, it's fine with me. Elk, yes, seen a lot of elk, a lot of buffalo, saw a lot of buffalo. I was like, there was a part of me that was like, I haven't seen any buffalo yet. And of course, there's everybody going, you're in bear country. Where's your bear spray? And I'm like going, oh, I got a dog. And so this one guy gave me his bear spray. He goes, I got 4 more. Don't worry about it. Big old can of it too. And I couldn't tell you where it is right now. It's somewhere in my car. Oh my God. And, of course, we have a comet going through right now, and you can't help but see that mother when you're out in the middle of this open Montana. I understand why they call it Big Sky. What else? The biggest lesson I've learned, especially yesterday, and yesterday was a powerful day. Yesterday, Nikki and I did a lot of amazing things. And it was, I sat there last night going, wow, we did a lot today, because, I'm going crazy with my phone taking pictures. And it blew me away that we squashed all that into one day. And I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And the thing that I did differently yesterday than I've done than any other time in my life is I stayed in this now moment and I followed my joy in this now moment. So every time I was up against a decision, I asked myself, what feels more joyful? And there's a part of me that's like, oh, well, we can't really stay in a hotel. You have to stay in a campground again. And I'm like, no, my joy right now is to stay in a hotel. And I, I got a room for free. Catch that. This is what happens. And, anytime I'm trying to power ahead. So yesterday I'm driving through the Grand Tetons. And there's this part of me that's like, oh, I got to find a camp spot. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. I got to figure out where I'm going to stay tonight. And it just felt heavy and horrible and ugh, and I just didn't like that. And and then all of a sudden I could hear my little inner being going, but I don't want to leave this area yet. I love this. I'm looking at the Grand Tetons and I don't want to stop looking at them. And just as I'm thinking that, there's a road turning off to the right. And I was like, oh, let's go see what's down there. And oh my God, there's this huge part of me going, come on, we don't have time. We have to go find, daylight is waning. It doesn't get dark here until like 9:00. I don't know what my deal was. But I'm just in this struggle and I had to stop. Everybody stop. What's my joy? My joy is to go down that road. I don't know what's down that road, but I know my joy right now. What feels better? What feels more exciting? What feels more fun is to go explore down that road. And oh my God, I was probably 2 hours down there, just amazing, creating more wonderful experiences. And that's how I made it through Yellowstone yesterday. I mean, I started in Montana and I went through Yellowstone. And with each decision, even stopping and getting gas or anything like that, I was like, does that feel joyful? Does stopping where all these people are stopped looking at bubbles, mud, bubbles coming up out of the ground, does that feel exciting or not? Does that feel joyful or not? No, I want to keep driving. I'm tired of stopping because Yellowstone, you're stopping every 5 feet. Oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, what's that? These poor cars. Anyway, and then driving past, I didn't even know Yellowstone had its own lake. It's huge. It's enormous. And then, of course, it has its own rivers. And there's a section that has whitewater rapids like crazy. And you just, yes, I wanted to stop and check that out. So it really was a huge, powerful lesson in staying in my joy. Staying in my joy. And this is a lesson I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. In fact, like this morning, I woke up and there's this part of me going, okay, you got to get up and start packing up. And I was like, stop. What's my joy? My joy is stay in this comfy bed with a pillow. I'm not outside. I'm inside. I've got air. I've got microwave. I got refrigerator. I got shower. I've got clean feet, finally. That's my joy, and so I just stayed there. And the one thing I'm finding is that when you stay in your joy, that so opens up a whole different version of you. And it opens up a whole huge space for the universe to keep bringing you gifts, especially when you're like, yesterday I was like, oh my God, the hotels are going to be all booked out. I'm not going to get a room. I'm not, there's all that. And stop. What's your joy right now? My joy would be to pull over into that shady spot and just take a chill for a second. Okay, that was my joyful stay on the road and quick get to Jackson, or pull over that shady spot, take a breather, see if I can get some internet service and see what I can get. And lo and behold, I got a room. I got it for free. I'm not going to tell you how I got it for free, but I got it for free. And it was, gifted to me very kindly. I just run across these people who are just like, I want to do this for you. Okay, cool. And saying cool and not going, oh, no. The universe is trying to give you gifts. You have to be willing to receive. And also, I get here and the guy's going, you got the last room. And this is the way the universe works. These are the gifts the universe is trying to give you. So from here, we head on down to Rock Springs. I've got to pick up my packages of dog food. that we were so kindly gifted by Dr. Harvey's. And then from there, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing today. I really have to just stay in my joy of this moment right now and trust that the universe is going to guide me into the best next moment. This is new. It's interesting. Love you guys.